Hi, Marceta Reilly here. You know, this is the time of year when it's really, really difficult to do the teaching. I think it's the most difficult. It's been a long time since the beginning, since January, when you had your last real break, school break. This is when you're doing the most difficult, really the meat of the instruction and the outcomes that the students are really supposed to get during the school year. You're really placing a lot of high-level expectations of them and asking them to reach up to it. The kids are getting tired. You're getting tired. You're getting stressed and grumpy, and the kids are, and your colleagues are grumpy. The administrators are saying, you've got to teach them, you got to teach them, you got to get them to the test, they got to do well in this test. It's a very hard time of year. So Simon and I have a great way to kind of respond to this, and it's in our book, Releasing Leadership Brilliance. It's in the 4th chapter where we talk about the importance of student engagement, and it's an exercise called Surprise and Delight Teaching Experience. And what we ask you to do is not to try to change the attitude of the kids, but to really look at your own attitude. How are you showing up to the students? Are you showing up that you're caring? Yes, you want them to know, and you believe in them, and you care about them because you know they can really stretch into this new learning you're trying to help them understand. So the exercise is about you thinking about a time when you really related well with either a student or a group of students. What was the context around that? And when that happened, what surprised you about that experience? What impact did it have on the students? What impact did it have on the relationship? You see, Simon and I believe that it's when you're in a position, when you recognize that you're in a really stressful position and you want things to change, you want other people, if so-and-so would just do such and such, if the kids would just sit down and listen instead of fighting me all the time. Well, it's really about you changing yourself, because you can only change yourself. That's the only thing you can really control. But in showing up differently to the students, they may respond differently to you because you're projecting a different presence. Let me tell you a short story. I had a student named William. He was a 6th grader, and I was a teaching principal. So I taught science every day in the classroom for about an hour. And William, he was a very difficult, challenging student. And when I would discipline him or say something to him, he'd take it very personally and say, "You're just doing this because I'm black." And he was very, very, had a chip on his shoulder. So when I was teaching science, I was trying to get them ready for the state tests, and I'd say, you know, look, there may be things on this test that we have not studied, but I believe we have studied the scientific inquiry method, and you all know how to think scientifically, think like scientists. So when a question comes up that we haven't had, they give you some data, they give you information. Just think about the information they give you, and then think about what's the best way to answer this with the information that they give you. That's following the scientific thinking. On the day of the test, I was out of the building, so I wasn't around for the testing. And when I came back, William met me at the school door, and his head was down, and he said, "I got something to talk to you about, Ms. Reilly." I said, "Okay, let's go into my office." And my heart just sunk, because I had been, you know, so thinking that I was making headway with William in our relationship. And I sat down in my chair, and I had William sit down, and I said, "Okay, so tell me what happened, William." And he said, "Well, things didn't go as I'd planned. And I thought, oh dear, what happened? And he said, nah, I'm just teasing you. It went really good. You know, we had that test, and you know, I thought about what you said, and there were some things on there we didn't know, but I think it did real good. I think I just thought it through. And I was thrilled. First of all, I was thrilled that William was teasing me, because I knew that that was a great, that meant we had a good relationship and he trusted me. And then I could see the pride in William, that he really did believe that he did better in this test than he had in years past. And he had confidence that he was going to pass his part of the test. So it was a great experience. And then as I thought about it, what were the things that happened? Well, there were things along the way. And in the classroom, I would ask for William's ideas. I would make sure he understood things. I interacted with him as if he was a good student and as if he wanted to learn. And he kind of stepped up to that role. It really wasn't about me disciplining him. It was about me relating to him. So that taught me what I need to do with more of the students, who those students that I have prickly relationships with. It's about really getting to know them personally and conveying that I believed in them. So first I had to convince myself that I believed in them so I could communicate that honestly. Anyway, try this exercise. It's a great exercise. Share the ideas that you talk about with your colleagues. When we've done this with groups, when Simon and I have done this with groups, oh my goodness, the energy in the room and the stories that you hear just grab at your heartstrings. So try it. It's a great exercise, and I hope maybe it'll lighten your load and release some of the stressfulness of this time of the year that we're into. So have a good time doing that, and tell us in the Facebook group what is it that you're learning and how did it turn out. So thanks. Bye for now.